Bracket racing isn't just what we do, it's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket life. Hello and welcome back to the Bracket Life broadcast, Canada's drag racing show. As always, Brandon Barker here with the baddest dude in a white Corvette from Amaranth, Ontario, Andrew Stark.
You know, you have to be careful with that one. There actually is two of us in this area with white Corvettes.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there is some competition. There's a bit of a rank there. So not Amaranth, but close enough.
Well, sort your stuff out then and make it clear. Right. If I'm going to start opening like that, you got to back that up.
Well, hey, it's all right. Kevin's done well in Hot Rod. He finished 8th in the world. I finished 7th. So at least I got going for me, right?
There we go. We go. We're rolling. We'll start it out tonight. Where is it? Right there. Shop Bracket Life Apparel. I'll leave that QR code hanging out up top, as everybody knows. And if you did not see today, I got the t-shirt on.
There you go.
New logo. New situation going on. Where is it? I don't know how much you can see of it.
No, that we got it there. So for those who can't see it, listen to the podcast. You can hit up Facebook. You'll see the new swag. It's awesome.
Yeah. It is absolutely. I love the new logo. Love the new design. We just got set up. I will show here. Same thing for watching, hanging out. Bracket Life sweatpants going on here. If you're into that kind of thing, you know, there's a certain crowd that's into the sweatpants.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Mainly semi-pro racers, I think.
I was gonna say the foot breaking world is
the foot breaking dudes. They're gonna get wound up for that.
The SFI pants. Yep.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So it's cool. Got the new stuff going on. New apparel drop today. Got a bunch of orders already for different stuff. Those will all be sent out, you know, as we go.
Perfect.
And it's going well. So I am worn out. I'm wore out, man. That was a long weekend.
Yes.
We had
the 660 race. There was you know what? The funny part about that for you guys coming across Toronto, right? Like it's a race for you to get across the GTA just because of driving through the 401 and all that other jazz, right? Like you get a lot of practice probably hitting the pedal and hitting the gas before you ever get to a racetrack, just to try to get to the racetrack when you're coming across the GTA, right?
Exactly. There's a lot of searching for brake lights way up front to see when, so you can try not to just jam on it.
Yep.
You know, but sometimes you know a choice. We Thursday night we left, we rolled up, and like it was unreal. That was the quickest I've ever drove through Toronto, like on the 401 until whatever the 403 when we got off.
Yep.
But drove, like, we slowed down a little bit for like 15 minutes, and we went through just after 7 o'clock.
Yep.
It was a breeze, right? We were 3 hours and 15 minutes from the house to get to TMP.
That's not bad. You're doing pretty good. It's weird like that sometimes now. Like
yeah.
You can leave it's pretty much rush hour all the time now in the GTA, which is pretty much anytime even when I come out to Cayuga, like I just jump on the 407, right? I talked to a ton of people on Thursday and Friday, but like, how do you get across when you go east, or what do you do when you come west? I'm like, honestly, toll roads. I know it's a terrible word. Everyone hates it. They're like, that's expensive, but honest to God, right? Like my sanity is worth more than the amount of toll to get across the city, right? And then once you're clear of it, you're gone. Like once you get off the QEW to get to Cayuga, you're rolling. Once you get around the GTA to head to Luskville or Napierville or, you know, Shannonville, like you're rolling. So I don't know. That's where I roll with that. So 407 has my credit card on tab.
So then what's it like for you doing like the 407 deal? Obviously everybody's got this, you know, in a similar situation, whether you're in a pickup truck with a trailer, or, you know, you got the toter home and stacker, or whatever situation you got. The axles, like when I was just driving my pickup truck,
the
axles are the same number in that as it is in my toter home. So like I'm
Motorhome.
not. Yeah.
This is
So
a
I don't
motorhome
think that
stand-up.
makes any difference,
No, no.
right?
We
So then, yeah.
we
how
actually
do you do
grabbed an
that?
insert for my brother's truck and trailer, right? It's a truck and trailer, so you grab the insert the camper going because he needed something for him and his wife and kids to sleep in, right? And all of a sudden now you got a motorhome, right? You grab the black transponder and away you go. I mean, it still costs money, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to go with the commercial transponder to go across, the GTA, and then the everything else is a motorhome, right? The Renegade's a motorhome, right? You get hit with the axles, but you get hit the same amount of axles if you were towing you know, small truck like that's under the commercial weights with other hobby trailers. So it works out well. It's only if you got a commercial rig that you're rolling that yellow transponder now becomes a little cost prohibitive. In which case, my suggested ETA through the middle of the city would probably be like 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the day and like rush hour, or just drive it in the middle of the night. But
Yeah.
workarounds. So that's
Yeah.
also that they catch you with anything. I've had a few trips out east that still haven't apparently maybe come through to their address yet for billing, but we maybe leave it at that. Just in case anyone else is listening from the EPR. So
That's right. That's right. But how hard is it to get set up with that for people that are curious? Like I know you went through the process and then Ian did. How hard is it to get a transponder?
It's pretty
What's
simple.
the
I just went on the 407 website and you fill out the information on what the vehicle is, right? So motorhome setup. I think they didn't have a one for the type of motorhome we had, so I just wanted the generic code, and they send it all out. It's really it's a fairly simple process, and it's similar to some of the ones if you have any experience with the ones in the US, right? If there's a few people out there might have the Easy Pass system, very similar-ish, right? Connect a license plate to it, and away you go. It's not too bad. Once you have the transponder, it's you're rolling. Don't use it. I think there's like a once a year type of bill for it, but to get around now to race in Southern Ontario, if you have to get around the GTA, and even for those of us just above the GTA, like I'm halfway across it really already, but to get to like Hamilton, Cayuga, like it's the only way to get far enough down to Hamilton Harbor. So, right. But simple enough to do. It's just a website deal, and then they mail it all to you. So
cool?
Yeah, it's not too
Cool.
bad. It's not too bad.
In the
Grab
comments,
these.
yeah, sorry. In the comments, we got Chuck Fram telling us every time they come down for the race weekend, they run Shannonville. They use 407. Saves driver sanity. Chuck's absolutely correct on that because it can be painful. I know the drive home for us, we were 4 hours getting home, maybe just over 4. And in a year like that, like I'm not when we're in the stop and go traffic, I'm not getting her wound up every time there's an opening in front by any means. But then and everybody talks about it. All these little cars are dodging in front of you and right up in and out, trying to get around, right? Just to save.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's GTA driving. You give the person in front of you 50 feet and everyone just assumes you're giving everyone space to duck in front of you.
And like to get nowhere, right?
Yeah,
you're really not gaining anything, but yeah, it's all the excitement of it. Now that
driving's the favorite part of it. Like I love driving to the track. It is just that part of the trip. It's just the GTA makes it, not so much fun.
I love driving there. The drive home, not as much.
No, that's valid. That's
not as wound up with it.
Yeah,
but
it's less to look forward to the next morning than if you're driving to the track, right? So
exactly. But that's all
into the Canadian countdown now. I think we got basically it's a whole show almost of countdown because we have a ton of stuff. Like a lot of tracks we're running over the last 2 weeks with some big events.
Yes. So we'll start out Lustville Dragway. We'll whip it out Saturday. That was from this past weekend, June 17th and 18th. We will have to identify that as much as we can because
it jumps a little
like
bit.
we said, there's a lot. There's a lot. This is not in order. It just happened to be how the results got wrote out. So Lustville on Saturday, Julia Malcolm took the win over Haley Anger. Semi-pro was Mark Thompson over Russ Frazier. Good matchup there, right? Mark's been doing this forever, and with his dad, Claire. So, awesome for them to be back in the winner's circle. Super Pro was Mike Chenier, not being very nice to my mother-in-law, Vicky Ogilvy. Vicky rolled through the final and then couldn't get past Mike. It's Mike's weekend, so
Mike's a tough customer, right?
He is tough. Tough. Mike was in the blower car for that one to take the win. Sunday, Logan Anger takes the win in the juniors. Semi-pro was Stephen Ballantyne, and Super Pro Landon Urslack over Frank Angers. Lando, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I want to say for the last 3 or 4 episodes we've done, we've talked about Landon Urslack winning at Louisville. So, kid's just on fire. He's got to figure it out now.
Finals at Super Tour, I think, on Naperville.
Yes. Yeah.
So
That was he lost to Rock on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So Lando's been lights out.
Great start.
Yes, absolutely. Roll over to Mission Raceway in BC this past weekend as well, the 17th and the 18th. Canada West Door Slammer, sorry, catching my tongue a little bit. Adam DeJong with the win. They have huge support with that class from what we're being told, right? And what we're seeing. 30 plus cars with many more still being completed and getting ready to go. So
it's
the door.
It's a neat class too. Like it's a Pro Tree Top Sportsman style class, right? Like the qualifying sheet, you can see them on. I think they have it on the Mission website. Like neat setup, right? And like deep on cars. Like
absolutely
stuff.
It's really cool, and like we say every time we do this, it's really neat to learn so much more about racing in Western Canada and how different it is, and what they have going on. But the Junior Thunder class, Isabella Marshall got her first race win there. Junior Lightning, Aiden Katanik. I think that sounds good.
I'd roll with that. Yeah.
His dad, Tom, also was the Door Slammer runner-up on the same day. So good for that family, that team rolling out. Yep. Junior Street, Tyler Smith with his 5th straight win in a row. We spoke about this last time too, because I remember talking about Tyler. Right? Apparently, he's got something going. Yeah, we just said about Lando being lights out.
Yeah.
Apparently, Tyler doesn't plan on losing this year.
No, he run the table. Like this is getting to that point, right? Like I don't know how many points events they're in now. I guess 7 or 8, but like 5 in a row.
That's all right. That's all right. Nick Douglas with the Sportsman win, his 4th straight win in a row. So we've got some dominant racers out there already. Absolutely. Pro Sean Langley comes up from Washington State and takes home the win there. Super Pro Dustin Brewington over Justin Bond. We're unsure if it is the Justin Bond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was one of the questions I seen it come up, and I'm like, well, how many Justin Bonds can there be in Vancouver, in
Mission,
BC, in Mission, right? But possibly a couple. But
so apparently doing some double duty stuff, right? Not just dominating in the pro mod car, but
assuming it is Justin Bond or just as good in Super Pro running around.
If your name is Justin Bond, maybe you're just naturally good at drag racing.
Very possible.
Possible.
It's there we go. Justin Bond. Yeah, there we go.
We got the throw out right away. Mission Raceway Park. It is the Justin Bond. So let's go. And so thanks guys for reaching out for that one.
Thank you. Well, if you ever need a guy to cheer for more in Pro Mod, who's also out there wheeling Super Pro cars on his off weekend, right. Like if that doesn't double down on making that a favorite, then I don't know what does, right?
Exactly. Hot Rod was John Sawyer, Harley Davidson winner, Dale Storzuki, driving the Harley, the Storzuki. You wouldn't think so. Super Combo, Dale Pedersen. Sunday was a washout, but good for those guys. Neat keeping up, right? Absolutely. Everybody else like that. Shannonville Drags also opened up their year this weekend, just passed. Cool one to kind of start it out. Saturday, Jason Chatwood comes out after 2 years off, gets the win, right back in the Rocket Revival Oldsmobile. So cool for Jason, been around it a long time, been at it for very long. Same with the old Papa John there. So good for those boys, taking home the win. Pro Wayne Sloot riding the Shields Brothers sleds. They are doing, this is just after, I can't remember the exact date. Steve Shields had passed away. I want to say it feels like a month ago or 2 now.
Yeah, it was spring or winter. Yeah.
Yes. So very sad, very unfortunate, but great to have the Shields Brothers sled still out there rolling and obviously hitting the winner's circle, right? First weekend out at Shannonville, first day out. So that's really cool.
Even better.
Cool to see. Dave Cardinal takes the win in Nostalgia. for that junior dragster, Carly Parkhurst with her first win. That is, Carly, my younger cousin.
Yep.
So good for her. Really cool experience to get to do that.
For sure. Yep.
In a long list of family members who have been successful in juniors.
That's another winner from the family at the track now,
That's
right?
right.
Added
That's right.
to the list. So
exactly. So cool. Good for Carly. Dave Peak takes the win in street and trophy. Jacob Lyle takes the win. I don't know how much we've talked. Well, I know we haven't talked about the trophy class at Shannonville. Cool deal there. I just want to bring up, an entry level class, kind of get more people interested in it. Street class, right? I believe the same rules as their regular street class, but is aimed at a cheaper way to come race, get more people into the sports and whatnot. So, that's a great deal.
I think it's a good idea. Like you see that. I haven't seen as many at the tracks around here as much. I think it used to be something that we had years ago, but it's a great system of moving into street, right? Because I think that's one of the obstacles we see sometimes is you get into street and you see some really good street racers, and that entry level sometimes becomes a really big step depending on what's in your neighborhood. Whereas this trophy idea, I really do like it. I see a lot of tracks use it around the US and Canada. And I think it works well to transition people in, right? You kind of build a staircase, right? We talked about this a little bit with Top Sportsman, Top Dragster stuff, where, the super pro to Top Sportsman, Top Dragster is a big step, and that intermediate class is there. Well, the first step in at trophy and street, outside of the junior level is very key, right? So cool to see that class rolling around at Shannonville.
Absolutely. So roll through to Sunday at Shannonville. Chuck Fram Jr. over Jason Chatwood. So like I said, great first weekend back for Jay. Really cool. A little bit of shady dealings there with Chuck Fram Sr. running the event, Chuck Fram Jr. taking it down. Just kidding. But somebody had to bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
How many? They're killing people here, man.
That's right. Doug Irvine takes the win in semi-pro. And then Nostalgia, Murray took the win. That's what I got.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed the last name on that one. My bad.
Street, Dave Peak with the double up. Jason Lyle also doubles that up, and junior dragster Samantha Chatwood takes the win. So all over it for them.
Yep.
We did just get a comment in there. I was going to bring that up as well. Kevin Zimmer throws that out for us. We don't have any results or many results at all from Grand Bend from this past weekend. PSDS opening weekend did start. Yep. This past weekend. Michael Callan takes the win in Top Drags for Mike Wag, takes the win in Top Sportsman, both number one qualified, and I believe they were both very fast.
Yeah, Mike's running 6.0s, 16s. Like it's a pro charge setup. I'm a little disappointed the Canadians allowed him to come up here and qualify number one and win after a lot of the talking he does on the internet.
There is a lot.
Solid dude. He does not. He makes sure that he's coming and he knows he's coming well. And the Canadian crew did a great job of making sure he's got fodder for many, many more months. So if you ever need a target, there's a guy that needs a little bit of a target on his back, right?
That's right. So Andrew, keep us talking about the fast stuff here for a minute.
Yeah. So good transition on that one. Yes. So Kevin Zimmer just jumped into 6.0 for Kalen, 6.19 for Wag. So those are some pretty quick cars to win in those worlds. PDRA North versus South shootout at Maryland. So we've been following the PDRA. We got a lot of Canadians like following the series there and doing well in it. So we've kind of been keeping tabs on them. Pro Boost, 22 cars going for the 16 spots. Had a solid bump, 369.8 to get inside of that. Melanie Salemi qualified 5th, Scott Wildgust 10th, Spencer Hyde 11th. Unfortunately, in round one, all three went out. Just some tough losses and some tough competition. That's a quality class. Pro Street, Nick Agostino got into the 4th spot with a 403 in the 12-car field. However, round one was not friendly to him either. I think he had trouble getting down the track. Might have been tricky round one. The shining star in the whole race, elite top dragster Kyle Harris, qualified for what is a truly elite top dragster field. Bumped his way into the 14 spot with a 386.3. 16-car field, and a 386.3 was only worth the 14th spot. The bump being a 398.2. And then just ran through the field. Round one, he had a comp by when his opponent broke. Second round, going 380s or high 380s, lays down an 8-pack. I think he was 4 dead 4 for the win. Round 2 opponent goes red. And in the final is 008 against an 87. And then based on the mile an hour, it looks like he went down there to drive it to be 28 over. So he was looking to make a real good pass in the final round and ends up winning Elite Top Dragster. So congratulations to those teams. They've done well in the past, and they're certainly looking like they're going to be formidable again this year. The Rockin' Super Shootout at Mid-Michigan. So this is a bit of a combo event. We got a couple of results on this one. But there was an 890, 990 combo series put together to run in Mid-Michigan. Ajax, Ontario's Corrine McMillan. This is June 10th. So again, talking about the dates and moving around a bit. Picked up the win in Supergas. Great to see them get the W. Hardworking team that follow a lot of the NHRA events. Always were big supporters of the Supergas stuff that we did around here. So great to see them pick up the win. Same event, same day, but out of the Moneymaker series, which is Mid-Michigan's no box aspect to it, Will Steckley. We've talked about Will a ton, right? And he is back. He is traveling. He hit the road, and he picked up a 7K no box win. If there's ever a guy you don't want to run into, or someone should pay a ticket to get down to the Columbus Summer Fling in Pro 48, that's the dude that should be heading down there. But 7K win for him. It's a great start to the year. We'll jump to Cayuga, but for June 10th and 11th, so 2 weeks back, because we'll be at Cayuga here just in a couple of minutes, but for a different event. Saturday, June 10th. So it was the NHRA .TV challenge. NHRA Wally's up for grabs. The box, no box combo winner, my brother Ian. We were messing around with the car, got it out this year, finally got some good laps on it. He was able to pick up the win over Mike Suckervanti. Junior Dragster Consi, Kate Gingrich over Ethan Birch. Junior Dragster main event, which was for a Wally. Marshall Klein over Emma Pignol. Street, Aaron Feaston over Glenn Rock. Footbrake, Billy Thompson over Brad Talbot. Remember Brad? He has a bit of a run here over the next couple days. Modified, Dan Pepper over Jay Branning. I was so close. I got to 3, and Dan just tattooed me. I'm 002 red. He's 001 green. And I didn't have a lot to work with there, but congrats to Dan. Congrats to Jay too. Jay had a really great day, like to get to the final round. Car was working good. So kudos to those guys. Super Pro, a couple names that we're going to use a lot of coming up too. Casey Kovacs over Mike Newman. A great final round Super Pro. Quick Sportsman. Tim Knight. Tim comes out with the I can't remember the name. They have 2 names for their 2 dragsters because Tim has a top dragster now as well. But takes the Super Pro dragster to the win over KC in a great Quick Sportsman final. It was tight. Bike sled, Kyle Verbeek over Trevor Rock. Roll into Sunday, Cole Ferry over Marshall Klein. Marshall, great bid to try to double up to win 2 Wallies in 2 days, but just came up short against Cole. Number 3 in the world, by the way, in IHRA, I think is what it is. Modified. Here's where Brad comes back to haunt us. The Talbot name is everywhere. Those guys are going rounds week in, week out. I believe this past weekend they even split up. Brad and I want to say Jay, I know, was at our race. I can't think if Brad was there now. I think he was. I might just be traumatized with yellow Camaros running around. Or not yellow, sorry, silver Camaros, right? But Brad picking up the win over Tony Valerio. Super Pro. Charlene Lepp jumps into the family Mustang. Doing a little double duty, helping run the race series, or running the race series, not helping, running the race series and running some Super Pro. Gets her first win in quite a few years. It was a real happy to see moment over Wes Bemke. A great day for Wes. Wes was wheeling the car. He took me out at 5 cars, just chopped me off of the knees with a great pass. Foot brake, Brad Talbot. Back to Brad being on here. Gets his second win of the day over Sam Snap. Bike sled, Jason Stewart over Darren Johnston. Junior Consi, Brandon Firstel over Aaron Pignol. And this was kind of cool. 3rd generation racer. So Cameron Snap, I believe that's Sam's son, picking up his first ever win over Victoria Harvey. So 3 generations of Snaps at the TMP, Cayuga Dragway, whichever name you want to use it, have picked up wins now. So kind of the cool family, story there. I knew Harry, who was a grandfather of Cameron, if I'm wrong. And he was a kingpin at TMP through that late 70s, early 80s in bracket racing. So it's kind of cool to see that carrying on. We're going to jump on the road for the next one. Man Cup, Alabama. Josie Brooks Josie's out rolling around. She picked up a new bike or built a new bike and then just debuts it to a pro ET runner up just right off the trailer. Another great showing for them. I know based on what I'm seeing, it looks like they're following the Man Cup series, the bike series, and they're certainly making their presence known rolling around. So great to see that. We're going to stay on the road. NHRA Division 1, the LODRS. I can never say that smoothly.
No, not
Never.
a chance.
No.
And I always get
Lucas
like,
Oil.
I always get so confused when I see it. I'm like, what in the world is this?
I know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lucas
Yeah.
Oil Drag Racing Series. Sorry, that's my bad. I got it.
Yeah, it always messes me up. Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. So Division 1, Lebanon Valley. Rick Stroud. I can't remember where Rick's from. He's, I want to say Ottawa area, but
Yeah,
that's not.
because he's around. Now, I'm not going to say exactly where he's from, but I know he's got to be because he hangs out with Charlie Kanopik a lot.
Yep.
Charlie's around Renfrew.
Yep.
Rick's around the same
Neck of the woods, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go with Canada's own Rick Stroud, just because I wasn't quite sure where Rick was from per se, but he picked up a big Super Gas win. Kind of cool following the Division 1 points for Super Gas. That win puts Rick into 5th place in Division 1, just behind Charlie, who's sitting 3rd in Division 1 Super Gas. So tight racing going on there. I don't think they're too far out of 1st. Division 1's had a lot of rain issues, I think, right? With some of their events. They lost New England pretty much for the Sportsman, which is going to be run somewhere else. So a good start for those guys. We'll keep an eye on how they roll. A story I missed a couple of weeks ago. I feel bad about this one only because it was on my list and then my lack of preparation got me into this problem. So Lancaster Dragway going back about 3 weeks, Peter Van Balen. So those who've been around Cayuga quite a bit remember Peter from back through the 90s. I want to say maybe early 2000s, multi-time track champion, I believe. His son Chris was supposed to get me a little more info to help build this up a bit because Peter was a well-known racer in the area. Takes a 20-year retirement, comes back out, and his big goal was, I want to conquer Lancaster. And for those who aren't familiar with the area, Lancaster is a track in Buffalo, New York. Tight little 8th-mile track. It is the straightaway of a stock car track, basically. But this is a neck of woods where the Fletchers have raced and grown up and run around. Dagnolo's from the area. There is a plethora of really great drag racers. So you win at Lancaster, you've really done something. Peter had never done it, managed to park their Datsun, which was another surprise to me. There's 2 of them now in the neighborhood, right? Teddy Barnes and Van Balen's as well. So kind of a neat story. I'm always intrigued by these things where, someone finally conquers that one place, right? And it was great to see Peter get the W there. Asked him what was kind of next on the list since he's knocked that off. And that was a big one since he's been racing for a very long time. And he wasn't quite sure, but I'm sure he'll have another goal here shortly. So that brings us to kind of the last big race. And we can work through this one day by day. The 660 Sportsman Nationals at Cayuga.
Where we got to hang out.
We got to hang out. Yeah.
We did. It was a nice time.
Actually
nice
was.
Time. Yeah. For the time we got to spend together, it was nice,
Yeah, well, you didn't have to thrash on your car this weekend, which was a nice change from
You're correct.
The Dragway 42 experience.
Yep.
I left early with a broken motor. That was down, well, we can get into that later, but overall some good results for both of us and some great results for a few folks and just a great weekend of racing. They got a lot of racing in. It was smooth, went, not late into the night. Track was really good. I was real happy with it. I thought it was one of the best weekends, consistent 3 days I've seen that track. And so the crew deserves a lot of credit for making that work. New timing system worked flawlessly, right? It was tight racing. You could make a change in the box and you were seeing it as long as you didn't mess it up, right? So if you wanted to kick into the Fridays aspect, because I feel like I've been talking for about half an hour. So
that's all good, buddy. That's all good. I will do that. Super stock 5K shootout. Fired up Bob Park over Glenn Baker. That was cool. The super stock cars, right? I love the stock super stock deal. The way the cars look, the way they leave. Yep. It's really cool. So always been a big fan of watching. I talked to Bob Park a little bit when we were there, so which is neat. I've never met Bob before, and then had met him there, and watched him roll around. I think he was driving the Camaro, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, he was right Camaro.
And so seeing him get that win, it was neat.
Yeah,
he's people. That's what I like doing.
And a longtime racer. Like Bob's been a very successful racer in a lot of different platforms for a lot of years. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's out there still turning on wind lights and you know, with fast equipment, like his stuff, he's got the, you know, the super stock motor, and then he's got the
Yeah.
qualified Indy super stock motor, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. And
pretty cool.
his car's for sale. I saw
Yep.
that. That thing's for sale. Daniel and I were looking at it Sunday. We're like, ooh,
Yeah.
that thing's all right. 5K box shootout. I won't even tell you about the trend you're gonna find out. I'll just let everybody listen and figure it out for yourself. So 5K box shootout, Bob Jennings takes the win over Kenny Grossi. I think it's Grossi.
Yep.
The last name. Great for them. Kenny was pretty lights out.
Yeah.
In that dragster too. So good final.
He made a lot of good laps.
Absolutely. 5K no box shootout. Blaze for Mullen over Mike Sucravani. Cool deal. Both those dudes. I talked to both of them throughout the weekend. Great guys. Blaze came down, did the practice tree deal with us. So nice to see them. Cheer for your friends a little bit. Junior dragster shootout. This shootout was $5,000 to win. Juniors.
Yeah. It was free.
I'm not sure what the deal was.
I can't remember one of the races. Like the weekend was free on one end of it. Regardless, 5K and a junior.
5K in the junior.
Yeah.
Jack Snell over at Johanna Thompson. Yeah. Good for them. Cool race. I talked to a lot of junior parents this weekend and how exciting it was, and just the thrill for not just the kids racing, but then the parents getting involved with it. Pretty hardcore about that race. So that's a big deal. So that's really cool. Good for them.
It was a big turnout too. Like there was a lot of juniors there. Like that was a good event for them.
You could almost contend that junior was the biggest class. Yeah. Not quite, but awfully close. There was a boatload of them there. Yeah. Junior dragster warm up. Charlize Bertrand over
Nevia Gomes.
Nevia Gomes.
Yeah.
I talked to Nevia.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was her name, but I was talking to Nevia and Rodney a bit throughout the weekend. No box warm up. Arnold Fox over Sean Booth. Box warm up. Adam Bitsanis over Jamie Champ. Cool deal too. For Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie's doubled at 3 cars.
Yeah.
And
both entries very successfully, like making great laps.
Absolutely. And Bits had to roll through him twice. Now the first one, and I talked to Jamie with this after, Jamie had it. Had him lined up, had Adam right where he needed to be, and then gave it back just a touch at the finish line, and then rolled back around, and Adam turned the tables on him. So good for Bits coming out there doing that. Great weekend for Jamie as well.
Yeah.
That was our Friday. Hung out. Like I said, awesome to be back and see.
I don't want to go past this, but Bizantis, I'm never going to bet against him on a day one of a race. Every event I've ever been to that Adam is at, day one is his day. Bonanza, Thursday winner. Roll to Napierville, Friday winner. Go to the 660s, Friday winner. Like, you can't give me odds on this guy on day one, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bad dude. You know, and race with him more. You'll figure it out.
With a fast, loud car. I have never been in a burnout box where my helmet vibrated as he did a burnout.
Yeah.
Like I just started doing my burnouts with him just to try to stay ahead of the exhaust pipes. That thing is wicked.
That thing is cool.
Yeah.
Saturday we will start the.
It's a little inverted. We're going with the high rollers first, but yeah.
I'll work from the bottom up.
That works.
For there. Junior Consi, PJ Marston over Katie Gingrich. Right?
Yeah, I think you got her there.
Junior dragster Cammy Scott over Cole Ferry. Box 7,500 to win. Mike Newman takes the win over Casey Kovacs. Great final there. Good for Mike rolling through that. No box 2,500 to win. That was Mr. Andrew Stark sitting across the screen from me over terrible Teddy Barnes. So 2 of my neighbors were sitting there going for the final. So that was cool. Nice to go hang out with you guys. And then, we had a nice little winner circle picture all together.
We had a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. If you haven't seen it on Facebook, that was fun. That was fun to run in the final. And he was lights out. Like he had me. He turns that green. I'm 19. I think I ran dead 8, dead 9. It was a high number. Barnsley's 1 red and drops it to 8 because he goes down there just to prove a point, right? And I'm like, I had nothing to work with there. If he's green, I'm toast.
It was it.
Absolutely.
stock, super stock, Ryan Bonifero over Doug Box there. The box, no box gambler, Harry Goosens over Jeff Talbot. Saturday night junior dragster gambler, Cole Ferry over Lindsay Caldwell. So, in 2 weeks, Cole Ferry has been mentioned. I want to say it seems like a boatload of times here. So Cole's been rolling through the juniors. The 10K high roller race, Saturday night, we ran that. Bob Jennings over terrible Teddy Barnes once again. Ted makes the 2 finals. Ted was not in the high roller race until after the final for no box. Then we had talked him into, he put a box in there, went out. I want to say he came up 1 in the time trial. And then went for it, dove in, all that. So to this point, we've got, Bob Jennings has been 2 out of 3 races. He has turned the final win late on. To this point, we're only on Saturday.
That's right. That was a long Saturday, right? Like he is going rounds everywhere. He's doubled. I'm seeing him in every class, right? I don't know if he was doubled in box, but he was rolling.
He was. Yes. He was there every round with me that I was there stalking me. He was.
Yep. So we've got Sunday. So stock, super stock. We'll kick it off with that one. Bob Park over John Sierra. Bob just rolling, right? I know in the comments here, Mike Manny chimed in. So Bob's all of 79 years young. You couldn't convince me of that if you ever meet the man in person.
Yeah.
He's a kid at heart and he's got a youthfulness, but Bob rolling in there. And the funny part was we pulled out Sunday morning. So we hurt the motor in the vet, as I'd alluded to earlier in the show. Ironically, against Ted, as Ted went on to, what did I get down to? 3, I guess, is when we hurt.
Yes.
It, right.
Yeah.
So I turn at 6 red and then proceedingly break the motor. So if it wasn't bad enough to see the loser light on, the motor's dead at 400 feet. But had a no box card for Sunday, and Bob's walking around and no box is in the lanes. It's like, where can I buy a tech card from? I'm like, you can buy a tech card right here, right? Jumps into it and within 2 minutes is in the lanes, pulling double duty and no box and super stock. So Bob over John Sierra. One of our American friends came up, super stock racers. Great to see John up here. John Sierra Jr. is one of the guys who does events down at the Empire Dragway over the years. So some folks might notice that name. John's also got a cool roadster, super gas roadster. Nova.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. A little different, a little cool. So back to now, here's where Brandon gets to play into the game on this one. So 7,500 box final. Bob Jennings, Brandon Barker. Brando, you figured it out on Sunday. Started getting some rounds together.
Started slowly.
Well,
yes.
Hey, it's, let's put a brand new motor in the car and go to a race. Might take just a touch to get her figured out and broke in. But unfortunately, Bob was he was rolling. Bullet Bob takes you out in the final. Close race. But when you're on a roll, you're on a roll, right?
That's
just the stars line up. So Bob in his, what did we say? Fourth final?
Fourth final. No,
Fourth final.
Third final.
Fourth
race.
Sorry.
There were 4 races.
Yeah.
3 finals, 3
so
wins.
There you go. That's it. So Bob with the big win on that one. No box 2,500 main event. Dustin Taylor. So Charlene's nephew, right? Jumps in the family Mustang. Family Mustang gets to a couple final rounds over 2 weeks here, right? Making some good money over Tim Blyde. Tim was killing it pretty good. Tim and I went out testing the week before at Cayuga and had a great race. So great to see him do well. Junior Dragster main event, PJ Marsden over Jacob Firsto. Junior Dragster Consi, Charlize Bertrand over Ryan Pettit. So some great competition for those kids. And just a great event. It was a lot of fun. They did a really great job. We had some weather on Friday. We started late. It was, I didn't think we were going to race at all on Friday, to be honest with you. I was looking at the forecast thinking this is not going to happen. And at noon, they started putting cars down the track and they rolled, and then we got the high rollers in, moving the 10K to Saturday. I think, that helped just because of a timing standpoint, but we had a lot of fun. That was a good event. Great racing, tight racing, right? Had a few people from everywhere. We had Windsor to Montreal show up to the race. So, it was enjoyable.
It was fun. I was glad we got to do it. I always have a blast when I get to go, anywhere, Southern Ontario, Grand Bend, Cayuga, whatever it is, and then hang out with everybody, right? A lot of folks that I don't get to see very often, and then cool. And I think I say this after every different racetrack I go to, to see how many people know or pay attention to Bracket Life and what, the broadcast, what you and I have going on right now, it's really cool to get to know all those folks that are watching, and then get to hear what they think, or just have them say that they're checking it out and they love it. So that was really neat. That's a huge thing for myself, huge thing for Rachel, that we both enjoy doing it. And then, it's so much easier to meet people when they just start coming up to you and start talking, because they know everything that we've got going on for the most part, right? And they're so comfortable with it. So that's really cool. I love that part. And then, that was the highlight for me, for sure. My highlight would have been better if Bob didn't, get in my way on Sunday, but that's life, But no, it was good. It was good. It was a blast getting out there, hanging out with Drew and Vicky. Great event for them. So hopefully they roll through that next one. When is the next 660 race, Andrew?
August, I believe it's like the 16th to the 20th. Where it's at is if we pull up the Canadian bracket race schedule you've got on Bracket Life.
You are correct. You are correct. We have the technology for that unit.
That's the thing. So if pull that up. But it's in August. And it's going to be fun. Like it's, I don't want to go backwards and kind of repeat myself, but I want to give credit where credit's due. Otis, Christy, Drew, Vicky, the 660 staff did a great job. The TMP staff, they were on things. It was fantastic to see. I know Cayuga put a post out about how proud they were, and they should be like that. It's been a long time since a big money race like that, I think, has taken place at Cayuga. A lot of great series have gone through there, right? The RCSS, we had our series there. We put on some great events, but this was the first real big money one in a very, very long time. And they looked good doing it, right? So I really hope that's a start of some more type of big money racing out of Cayuga through the 660s. But, the RCSS have a good home there, right? They've shown that. They're working on a lot of stuff. It was great to see the timing system upgrade. Because it made a difference. That was some of the tightest racing I've seen at the track in a long time. And I think a lot of that is from a lot of great racers there, but with a really good system now, you really see the difference, in that. Yes. And that makes a big difference overall. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the August event. I don't want to look past any other great events coming up, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. That is, I did confirm that is the August 16th to the 20th, Grand Bend Motorplex 660 Sportsman Nationals coming back there. So that'd be fun. Before that, I know most of the people like you and I are not going. It's a bit of a drive. But I was actually talking to Travis yesterday. We were talking about racing Oil City Classic coming up. Our buddy Travis Ringeth, who's been on the show many times, doing it, big supporter of Bracket Life, having that this weekend, Rad Torque Raceway in Edmonton, just outside of Edmonton, whatever you want to say. Travis got that set up. That deal, as always, I want to say this is the fourth year that Travis is doing the classics. So they just keep getting better, right?
This one kind of snuck up too. I feel like I don't get me wrong. It's also almost late June, which I cannot wrap my head around in any possible way at the moment. It still feels like May for some reason to me, but I was looking through the calendars, just thinking like what's coming up, right? Going to the Bracket Life website, and I was like, the Oil City Classic. That's what's coming up, right?
That's what's coming up.
So could be great to see the results coming out of that. Could be some great racing. Another one of those events that like not close to home, although my buddy Bob Haynes, Snakebite, like he's made the trip from Ontario to this one, which when I first got to talk to him, I was amazed by. Door Wars coming up in Michigan. Michigan.
I
wish it was
farther away.
Michigan Raceway. June 29th, July 2nd. Was talking to the track a little bit online about it. This is going to be a real great event. They've got 6 nitro bikes already confirmed for the Western Canadian Top Fuel Nitro Bike Series, which is $10,000 to win. Like that's
wild.
That's a pretty good deal, I feel like. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure nitro bike's an expensive ordeal to go through, but you don't often see these type series in Canada. So $10,000 to win on the Top Fuel Nitro bike. Pro Mod confirmations are coming in. West Coast Pro Mod Series is the going to be the Pro Mod side of it, but Justin Bond, like the Justin Bond.
That's the same dude we talked about earlier.
We're going to Super Pro Finals. Is going to be bringing a Pro Mod. Khalid Al-Balushi from the Bahrain One Fuel Tech team. Both of them will be in attendance. That seems like it's confirmed. They'll be running on Canadian soil and Mission, laying down numbers. So that's exciting. It's always great when you see some of these bigger teams come up, right? Like it's neat. It's one of those things that you don't see a lot of in Canada. I know Justin's from, BC, but to see the whole team with Khalid come up, to see the 2 cars there, that's going to be really awesome. Big junior shootout. They got a stunt show team. So I'm a big fan, and I'll go on a little bit of a tangent here. I love these ideas of these big events, like the large festival type drag races, right? Don't get me wrong. I used to love taking my bracket car, my super gas car to races and running on part of the big show. But I think there's something really cool when you see a track doing, stunt shows. They've got drift ride-alongs, that you can be part of at the track when you go to this event. They got a kids zone. Like they're really planning a family style of event with a lot of cool pro style cars going to be there. So excited for them. Looking forward to seeing the results from that. Hope everything goes real smooth on that end of it. But Door Wars, I've been told a few times I should make the trip, and it's that 40+ hour drive that has got me a little shaken. But one day, maybe we'll grab a flight and figure it out, right?
That's right. We know it can be done.
Well, you've demonstrated that, right? We got to make some friends with some cars on the West Coast, right? Maybe we can get this figured out.
Exactly. Exactly we do. So Andrew, where are we heading next?
Well, the beauty part is I think the next event, outside of some testing this weekend, maybe with a new motor in my car, June 30th, July 2nd, I guess we're heading to Luskville, right? Bracket Super Tour, Canada Day Summer Nationals. I'm excited for it. It'll be 3 big days of racing, 4 events. There's the warm-up race on Friday, 5K Saturday, 7,500 to win race with a decent payback. If you're a points member, it's free already. If you're not, $150 gets you in on it. Then 5K on Sunday. Semi-pros working for $2,000 on Saturday and Sunday. I think it's $1,500 for their free race if they're a points member on the Saturday night. And then you wrap all this up with a bow of bacon, and I don't know what else you can ask for.
I'm really unsure what else there is to ask for.
Yeah.
I'm
holiday Monday to recuperate. Assuming most take the Monday. Automotive industry around our neck of the woods is a Monday shutdown. So I
believe so. The same. I believe it's the same. Something we did miss, Andrew, from last weekend that I remembered as we were just rolling this through. Naperville Dragway had their Fuel Tech Pro Mod Series start.
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
That rolled. So I was just trying to look up quick. Noemi Balabi took the win in semi-pro.
Yep.
Unsure which day. I'm just highlighting the winners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She took the win in semi-pro in her new ride. So good for her getting that done. Robbie Martel, I believe he did win Saturday.
Yep.
Took the win. Robbie from Vermont coming over there, taking it down. Who else we got? Dominic Cincerelli takes the win. I believe that was Sunday's winner in Super Pro in that wicked fast dragster.
That thing is awesome. Like I thought
that thing is wicked.
440s, and I like this guy has nitrous and it's nothing. It's all motor. That was a weapon.
No, and Al Marderino, Team Extreme Motorsports there, takes it down in the Mustang, takes Pro Mod down. So good for Al. Al's
done well there.
Absolutely.
He is
great racetrack.
Yeah,
I believe he was low qualifier as well.
Yeah.
I think he dipped into the 70s. I want to say it was 79 to 379, 378.
Yep.
At Naperville. So they're not messing around.
No. That track has got teeth to it. And I mean, you've seen it in the past, right? When you've watched Spencer and Scotty and Al go out there and the, I don't know as many of the local pro mods out there, but I mean, there are some stout fields, 8-car fields on the field deal out there. And that track is, it works, right? So
yeah,
it's fast. Like I have no idea what sea level is supposed to be for a barometer, but like we rolled out there for the Napierville event, the Super Tour. I couldn't believe how good that air was, right? Even at 84 degrees. So some wicked fast numbers happening out there, but great to see that. Good start to the year for those guys. They had I want to say it was 12 or 13 cars going for 8 spots. So you had to work to get into that field.
Absolutely you did. Absolutely. But so that's good. We hit most of them. I'm sure there's still some racing we did miss, but that was a good half an hour, it seemed, of,
maybe more than that. I mean, there was a lot of racing to get through over the last 2 weeks, and there's so much more coming up. When you look at the schedule of what's, happened across Canada, I mean, there's tracks all over the place running and some big events coming up too, right? July is going to see National Open. I think it's at Medicine Hat taking place. You've got Naperville's National Open coming up near, I think, the end of July. 'Cause I think it's the week before, 2 weeks before the Bonanza. It's somewhere around that date. It's usually where it seemed to be at. Miramichi's got National Open coming up. Rad Torque, their Night Under Fire. Is that what they call it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, there's just a ton of stuff. If you're, depending on what part of Canada you're in, Grand Bend, Cayuga's got their Nitro Nationals on the Canada Day long weekend. I believe Peyton's will have their fuel cars there. So
yeah, I think there's going to be 3 or 4 fuel cars there.
Yep.
For that one.
Yeah.
No,
So
it'll be good.
July's gonna be a busy month. There'll be another one once we get through that, and like every episode's gonna have some big events going on. There's some big money racing going on down south, and I'm sure some more folks will be going through NHRA racing, right? So we're into that time of year. Division 3 is about ready to crank up when it comes to NHRA side of things. So yeah,
just looking through, like scrolling through the schedule of it, trying to keep reminding myself everything that is happening. There's a boatload of events. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear about it. We did also, we didn't get to talk about the East Coast fellas. That was because they did get weather. They weren't able to race.
Yeah.
But they will be rolling back here again sometime soon. So Cape Breton is this weekend.
I was gonna say I think I saw it. There's this weekend coming up as their first red. So
yeah. So it's cool. I'm excited for all of it, man.
Yeah.
So for everybody who is watching, paying attention, if you did join us a little late, check that out. Shop Bracket Life Apparel. And show you some of the other sweatpants they're in. They're the new style.
That's it.
Well, I guess they're coming back. They kind of were before. The new Flame T-shirt, Flame hoodie, Flame tank top. It's a cool logo. I love it. I love the new design.
Yeah.
So all that stuff, check it out. Be sure if you are on YouTube or if you're not on YouTube, either way, go create a YouTube account, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a lot, right? And it, makes it have more subscribers. Then YouTube pays attention to us a little more. Maybe we start working on some more perks, get some more stuff going for us. So yeah,
more vlogs.
We do need more vlogs.
The Drag Race 42 vlog was pretty good, right?
It was fun.
Absolutely.
We talked about it, doing it for Grand Bend, doing more time slip stuff. Yep. And then I was having a rough couple of days to start, and I said to Rachel, I'm like, I don't think this is the weekend. But
hey, you should have just do my trailer. I would have gladly shown you all the terrible passes I made. I have no shame. So
that's right. We will do that. We will get into that with the vlogs, whipping through, doing the time slips kind of as we go throughout the event. Yeah. I think those would be cool. Absolutely. Let everybody in on it, Yep. But other than that, Andrew,
it's back to work.
It is back to work.
It's back to work.
Couple more days.
Yeah.
You got some, you got some work. You got some race car work. Yeah. You got some race car testing, hopefully.
I'm hoping.
On the weekend, getting ready to go to Lustville.
If anyone from Grand Bend's watching this right now, please mark me down for Sunday testing. If anyone wants to go testing on Sunday this coming weekend at Grand Bend, let me know because it's going to get booked. We got converter change going on right now. That's where I'm heading back out to do, I think. So.
And there was more than just the converter change. The converter change ain't why we're testing.
No.
Everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that's all right. That's all right.
No.
So that'll be good. Good luck to you for that. Good luck to everybody else out there racing this weekend and next. I hope to see a bunch of yous out there for Canada Day weekend for the Bracket Super Tour Summer Nationals, Lustville Dragway. That's where Andrew and myself will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely. And we'll talk to everybody else 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. Good luck out there. July. That's wild. Yeah. Good luck. Have fun. Stay safe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we'll talk to you all soon.
See you then.
Bracket racing isn't just what we do. It's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket life.